Did my phone just crash? I have no idea if this is streaming right now. This is super awesome when you're trying to do this by yourself. Well, it's live. Of course you're going to get an ad. I assume that you're here, because why wouldn't I? What's up? I'm Smithers with the Chumcast. Obviously, if you're here, you probably know who I am. But if you are new to the stream, I am one of 3 hosts of a weekly podcast. We cover all things pop culture. I'm the car guy. I guess Mark would be the Batman guy, and I don't know what Brick is, the wild card. It doesn't matter. So I'm here to stream some Forza Horizon 5. This is my second stream here, so if you want to get caught up kind of on how I do this, I don't take it super seriously. I'm not gonna be doing a bunch of online races and shit. I kind of just like to go fast, and I like to talk about cars, and I like to fuck around with cars, and it's just kind of what I like to do. So that's what I'm gonna do here, and I'm just gonna check this audio real quick. All right, perfect. We're not totally screwed up, but I gotta figure out some background music or something. This is terrible. So I'll do a little bit of just warming up. It's not warming up. You're just kind of driving around a little bit and getting the feel for things. Oops. I got to flip my mouse over to my other monitor. So as I get warmed up, I thought maybe I could talk a little bit about what my setup is here. My apologies if you've already heard this spiel, but presumably there are new people here, so we'll see. My setup, as you can see, is a Playseat Challenge. Not the most high-end seat, racing sim setup, whatever you want to call it. But as you can tell, I don't have a ton of room right now. And this thing folds up with the wheel and pedal still attached to it. It's very convenient. The wheel and pedal setup itself is a Thrustmaster T300 RS. It's the Gran Turismo version. I'm running this on a PC, obviously. But I love the setup so far. The only thing I got to figure out to make this more realistic for me is to move this wheel like 6 inches further away. We'll get there someday. Or maybe I'll just build a whole new seat and say, forget it. I mean, like, you can see my head should be down here, but I'm a gigantic man, and I can't help it. So, anyways, we're going to get warmed up just a little bit here. Ooh, the old goat was spinning around. So we're in our GTO right now. Pontiac. Rest in peace, Pontiac. Stopped existing sometime in the early 2000s. I'm sure you all had or dated someone who drove a Pontiac Sunfire at some point. God, this thing needs a new transmission very badly. Anyways, I was supposed to be talking about my setup, which I will now. So I'm running this on a PC with Ryzen 7 processor and a GTX 3070. As you can tell, it runs great. Unlike a GTO when you try to launch it in 4th gear. The FPS and all that GPU stuff is up in the corner. I like to keep track of it just in case something tails off for some reason. Otherwise, just ignore it. But yeah, that's about it. Oh, I guess I'm a guy that needs a gigantic screen. And I don't know that I would like a close-up, like, round screen like a lot of those guys use simulators for and stuff like that. It's not really my style. I think I'm more likely to have something like this, which is a 75-inch Samsung Q6F QLED TV. It's 4K. It runs an HDMI cable directly over to my PC, which is just in the corner of the basement here. And I frankly have 0 complaints about any of it. One of the things I did when I moved in here 2 years ago, 3 years ago, 3 years ago, was network the whole house. So the TV's hardwired into the LAN, the computer obviously, and the entire network runs through the brain, which is in the mechanical room over there. But very happy with the connections and all that stuff. So this car needs so much work. Are you shitting me? What are we doing here? I don't know if it has enough power to do that. All right, let's see. Normally I would expound on what the hell I just did there, but this car is so screwed right now that it just needs a different transmission entirely. So that's exactly what we're going to go do. We're going to drop a new transmission in this bad boy. So when I say it has a shitty transmission. What I'm saying is, cars back in the 60s, they mostly had about 3 gears. These were 4 speeds. You know, you hear a lot of times when they're talking about older cars, like 3 on the tree, which was just like the lever that you pull up and down, but it's still a 3-speed manual transmission. Anyways, these transmissions were so shitty. My dad, who is actually the reason why I know anything about cars, is, was someone who rebuilt transmissions for a living. And the leaps and bounds that we've made, even in just the last 10 years versus what it used to be, and I mean, don't get me wrong, in a modern automatic transmission now is still, it still has a lot of archaic parts in it. Like, for example, when you throw your car in park, all that's actually happening is the little ball is dropping down in between the gears so that it can't go anywhere. It's not anything electric or anything cool like that. It's just literally something that just jams in there and stops you from rolling. So I'm going to try and keep up with the chat here. Darian, I see you, my man. Thomas, what's up? Azrael, hello, welcome. We're here to go fast. So that's exactly what I'm going to do. I got a new car now. Ooh, that's a Porsche. It's a very pretty Porsche. Okay, we'll come back to that later on. First thing I'm going to do is put a better transmission in this bastard. So typically, if I'm building something like this, I want to put a 7-speed in it because you have the 6 standard speeds, the 6 standard gears, and then you can just go ridiculous with that 7th gear. By that, I mean just gear it as low as you possibly can, just so that you never even have enough horsepower or aerodynamics to even hit that, but you're just like, it's there. Like the upper limit of your speed is what it is. I don't know if that made any sense, but it made sense to me. So we need a new transmission for this bad boy. Yeah, stock transmission ain't going to do it. Definitely don't need that. It's not a diesel truck. This, okay. That doesn't make sense. Doesn't matter. We only want the 7-speed. That's what we're putting on there. I remember building this car. I don't remember why. I think there's some kind of seasonal event or whatever, but cut a little bit of extra weight off of it there. Oh, you know what? Damn. Do we want to mess with the differential here? Full difference. Yeah, we're really going to need some... no, we're all-wheel drive. I converted this GTO to all-wheel drive because it just... When you're trying to run an actual race and not just go straight, or the absolute top speed, like when you need handling and acceleration and all that, it's all-wheel drive or you're just screwed. So we don't need any of that stuff. But with that, this car should be a lot easier to drive now. We'll have to change the gear ratios a little bit. But you'll see when we go to do it eventually. Still sounds pretty, and I still don't like where the rev limiter is on this transmission. I don't know how you can fix that. What we can do, though, is come in here and completely... Okay, so they put a 363 rear end in this. It's fine. We probably... Okay, so you can see down in the bottom right-hand corner here, kind of like where your gears go up to in terms of speed. So the top right now is somewhere around 150. That's probably about as fast as we'll ever go on a road race, right? So I think that's probably okay, although we could potentially get a little bit extra out of it if we even went up to like a 373, just a little bit extra off the line. So you'll notice in terms of the size of the gear, that's the actual ratio to the main gear, the final drive gear. But they get shorter as you go along, and that's just essentially saying... it's the biggest gear, and if you think about it, on a circle, this is spinning, but if you go to the outside of the circle, that's spinning faster, right? They make a revolution in the same amount of time, but it has to travel a further distance, so don't need to mess with any of that shit. Yeah, so if you have an all-wheel drive car, I'm not worried about the differential locking. That's usually for like a rear wheel drive. So the way a locking differential works is there's two gears in there. And if the acceleration hits a certain point, like a percentage, actually I can probably just show you here. So you see the rear, we'll just focus on the rear because it's probably rear wheel car. The acceleration is when you're taking off the line, you want, instead of just going to one tire and it just spinning, you want it going to both tires equally. And that's what a differential does, is it locks those two separate axles together so that they operate as one. So you can also, there's a lot, the decel is basically how quickly it frees up. So if you're cornering and you're say in an all-wheel drive car, you want that decel to be like way, way, way down because you don't want those tires to lock up. When you're taking a turn, the inside tire is going to be spinning at a slower rate of speed than the outside, so you need those axles to disengage. Otherwise, you'll have a tire lock up or you'll just break your axle entirely. I hope that made any sense. Okay, so we won't mess with any of that. Let's go back to the transmission here. I think this is okay. We should be a little bit better now. I don't know what I don't need any of that shit. I guess the red line doesn't really matter on this thing if they just let you go up to 8,000 RPMs anyways. I do love the way that thing sounds. So if you listen to that high-pitched whine, that's the supercharger. And I think this is a centrifugal supercharger. See, there's that seventh gear that we don't even need.
That BMW is the 2002 Turbo.
Oh, nice.
Very rare. Get down here.
Still lacking a little bit in horsepower. Also,
Better be quicker, I'm keeping it.
okay, got a bunch of barn finds. I'll deal with that later. What was I talking about? Yeah, so the GTO, obviously, these cars were all steel. Even the motors were. Shut up. How are these all happening at the same time?
Just how I remember. Come get it whenever you're ready.
But you'll see, like, when I come around a corner, I don't have that oversteer because it's an all-wheel drive car. So it doesn't tend to fishtail. Like, if I'm turning too hard, which I probably... It still doesn't even want to oversteer. But if you see the rear end going around the front of the car, that's oversteering. And if you just don't turn fast enough, that's understeer. What am I doing out here? How about I go find something to do, dumbass? All right. I did this for a seasonal event. Don't remember what it was. It had to be classics. Super hot hatch. No, I already did that one. There's way too much shit on this map. Here we go. Classic muscle. B700. B700? Oh, no wonder this car's slow as hell. Okay. Well, that's fine because all the rest of the cars will be slow too. Also, I just saw something with a monster truck on it, and I want to go do that immediately. Okay, but I'm going to focus first. My nephew would go batshit over that. Kid loves monster trucks. What the hell was I... Sorry. There we go. Alright, I gotta get used to this damn car. So, a lot of people don't like to drive something like this that's all-wheel drive because they want to be able to get sideways around a corner. That's fine. It's personal preference, really. I don't like to do that because I think no matter what, you're losing speed. But you can still do it in this car.
Fully restored Dodge Viper ACR for you, if you care to stop by.
You can still get sideways really easily in this thing.
Turn around when it is safe
Still
to do
roast
so.
the tires with all-wheel drive too, which is not realistic. These gears are still too short. got some balls, kinda. It doesn't want to stay on the road because it's a boat. But it is pretty. I'll give it that. Especially in cherry red. Oh. This is what happens when I try to check the comments. Fuck you, Ford Raptor. You'll never catch me either. So anyways, I was talking about that supercharger, and you can hear that it doesn't wind down when you shift like the rest of the engine does, because it's not actually on that. It's on your serpentine belt or timing chain or whatever. It depends on the car, obviously, but it's on the actual drive belt, so it's still spinning constantly. It doesn't have that drop off in RPM. That's way too low. Maybe 363 was right. Maybe we'll go... I hate doing this. It doesn't really have the balls for this, but we'll try it out. We'll see how it goes. This is why you don't fast travel everywhere. You gotta get a feel for it. Whoa. I don't know what the fuck I thought I was driving there, but... Alright. This 7th gear... This GTO might not actually have enough power for it. I forgot to check what the horsepower on this build was. With the... I did put a supercharger on it, but it's the stock engine. And I think there's an intercooler on it and probably an exhaust. But that's... I mean, compared to the other shit that we're driving in this game, that's 1,200 horsepower. Just because you crammed a twin-turbo V8 in a Jeep. It feels slow, and it feels laggy when you're turning because it's huge, which is kind of counterintuitive because a longer wheelbase will typically cover some of that up. I think it's just really hard to get past the whole feeling like you're driving your grandma's Buick. Not that there's anything wrong with that. I drove my grandma's Buick for a couple of years. I had to tow it home once. I forgot about that until just now. It had a vacuum leak in it. Buicks, man. What the fuck? Alright. I don't love those tiny tailpipes coming out of the back of this, and I definitely don't love that I had to put that rear... I guess technically it's a spoiler and not a wing. That's what an actual spoiler looks like instead of like the giant Fast and Furious ones. I don't know why you can't just put this on every car, but... I guess they want it to look like you're a tuner from 1999. Can I just go straight through here? Obviously.
Turn left.
That's fun. I've never been up. Oh shit! Can I not get through here?
Turn left.
Okay, we're good.
Turn left.
Get some air. I have no idea how this race is going to go, to be perfectly honest with you. This car kind of sucks, so it's really dependent upon how shitty everybody else's car is. And it's going to be rainy? What? I don't know that I'm in a championship, so we're just going to do this. I don't care, just going to get in here. Okay. This would have been a really fun car. Maybe I'll talk about this one next. I know it looks really dumb, but it was a dirt cheap option. This and the Coronet. They both had the Hemis in them, the hemispherical heads and the huge motors and huge displacement. And they, the Coronet at least, was called a Super Bee. And my dad had one of these, and he actually still has the logo, which is like a bee on wheels. And he's wearing a helmet and sunglasses and shit. It's the coolest it's the most retro dumb shit ever, but it's so cool, and I love these cars for that reason. But we're going to stick with the GTO for right now. She's definitely pretty. I miss the days when superchargers were gigantic. And I know that it's extremely inefficient to have one of those big Holly 440s on the top of your... It's just... I just miss the aesthetic. Alright, let's see what else can we do here to try and... I feel like I'm going to be all over the place. This is the problem. You couldn't really upgrade it too much with the limitations that they gave you. This stuff we definitely want. We want as much downforce as we can get. The differential, again, we're not going to mess with any of this. I think this is as good as we're going to get. We'll tweak it a little bit if we're getting smoked. I'm really interested to see what else is in this race. So in this game, there's a photo mode, and basically every time you photograph a new car, it will basically you're supposed to their Pokemon, collect them all, you know. So beginning of a race is always the best place to do this. Picked up a few new ones. Great, get some accolades. They give you new cars. All right, apparently there's something else I got to do there, but that's fine. I got some new cars out of this. We don't care about photo mode because I just don't care. Yes, there are Mazda Miatas in this game, and do not sleep on the Mazda Miata, actually. It is a favorite for a lot of reasons. One, because it's tiny and very nimble and agile and light. And outside of America, where they like things like road races instead of just car go fast in straight line, having a light car is really important. That's honestly, if for whatever reason, I mean, I am thinking about buying something and taking it to the track, but the first thing I would do, I wouldn't be worried about the power or the suspension or any of that. The first thing I'd be doing is trying to cut some weight out of it, especially if I had something old like this and I wanted it to go fast. Whoa. I don't know what the fuck just happened there. I stopped paying attention. All right. Because weight is really your enemy, especially, and it's not just top end speed. It's your momentum around corners. It's how hard you are on your brakes. Your tires will wear faster. I should probably actually shut up and focus on this race because I'm not doing well. See, rear-wheel drive car right there would have been all over the place. It's also really hard to have oversteer in a car this long. I just cannot nail that corner when it's raining like this. Ooh, I'm so good at this. Jesus Christ. Just got roasted by that Chevelle. Are you kidding me? Chevelles are like the Pontiac Sunfires of old muscle cars. Everybody you know has one. It's because they were cheap. They made a ton of them. And they were really easy to put bigger motors in. Or some of them just came with big blocks. What the hell just happened? The sun just appeared out of nowhere. That was horrifying. I'm pretty sure that the world would explode if that happened in real life. I'm in 7th place, and I really should pick this up here. Which would start with the right downshift. Alright, let's talk about the actual track here. My one complaint about this game, and the reason why you'll see that I have the full driving light turned on, is that every other driver, once you get past like super easy, always takes the best possible line on this course, which I also could if I spent like 4 hours practicing on a single course, which I'm definitely not going to do. But anyways, now that it's drying up a little bit, maybe we can get a little extra speed out of this. And we're not going to be able to get through this unless we just ignore our brakes a little bit. There we go. Now hammer it. I see that stingray up ahead and I'm coming for you. I don't think I'm going to be able to catch these other guys in time. But you, my friend, can eat shit. I'm about to undercut. Oh, nope. Came in low, huh? That was stupid. Yeah, I'm just going to run out of room on this. Also, I'm just going to run into the wall. Not bad. I rambled through the entire thing anyway, so. Miatas are the midlife crisis car. And I don't know how to say this without it sounding horrible. If I didn't think that people would make fun of me for driving a Miata, I would probably drive a Miata because I think I could make it really fast and really fun. God, you get thirsty when you don't shut up. All right, I'm going to do this and actually win this time. So sorry, you're just going to have to rewatch this. I'm kind of anal about like the collecting, you know, you gotta get first place and all this shit. All right, so what do we do here? We kind of topped out a little bit. All right, we'll go back to the 363. You might have been right, whoever designed this video game and knows way more about cars than me. Initial D is a reference I do not get, unfortunately. I am familiar. I know that it's an anime, and that's about it. So unfortunately, that one missed me. Mr. Chevelle is getting freaky. Is that a Skylark? What the hell? All right, Mr. Roadrunner. All right, we came out of the gates a little bit better on this one. Still got to get the right lines and be willing to go up on the curb a little bit because, remember, we're playing a video game. All right. Nope, third's too low. That's the other thing about this is, you know, if you have this car, you can feel, you know, what the gears are. You can hear it. Whereas I build this car, I drive it for like 2 hours, and I have to go learn a brand new car again. Not that I'm complaining, it's actually really fun. I have not decided what my favorite car in this game is just yet. Obviously, I probably haven't even bought whatever it will be yet because I only have like 10% of the cars. Ooh, is that a GTX? No, is that a Javelin? I can't tell what the hell. I should probably, again, pay attention. Why is this guy so fast? Mr. B-Baller. Because he's rocking the GTO as well. Although I don't think it looks as good in black. Alright, so we're going to come in his slipstream and then undercut him. Make sure we get in the fourth. There we go. Now we can stay a little bit lower in the gears because we're not as worried about the top end, and we can defend a little bit. Also, we'll probably end up putting a little bit of space here between other Mr. GTO. Here's the sun coming out of nowhere again. The gods all rejoice as I am in first place. And I just about lost it because I cut that corner way too early. Now the pressure's just on me to not fuck it up. Although I do have a rewind button, so how bad could it really be? I do like putting up good times here, though. This thing handles like a fucking Model T. That's bad. Oh, you dumbass. What did I say? Miata or a Crossfire? You know, the Crossfires actually had some decent ideas. They had an automatically deploying wing. I wonder if that car is in this game. I would actually like to see how fast I can get one of those to go. They were supposed to be built for like top end speed, but of course they were just I don't know how to say this. Girly cars. They were girly cars. I don't really know a better way to say that. I apologize, but that and the Pontiac Solstice, they were the exact same thing. There we go. There's actually a Pontiac Crossfire sitting down the street from me that definitely has not moved in about 3 years. I'm very confused about what's going on with it. I should probably go see if I can take it off their hands. Look at that. We're the only one with a sub 4 minute time. Not that it matters. I'm racing a computer. Who cares? Somebody hit me with an update from that video game or that football game. All right, where are we going? Where are we going? Where are we going? Knock that one out. Here's another one. And now we can just fast travel because who cares? This looks like a shitty road. This will be fun. Thanks for the bits. Okay. I don't think those are the wheels that I like for this. I don't know what this needs, but not those. I do love that they are the wheel wells in this thing is they're huge enough that like you could live in there. All right. I did not check the track on this. It doesn't matter. Let's just go with what won last time. Get off my ass. There's that Dodge Dart we were talking about earlier. I see a Mach 5 Mustang. I don't remember seeing you last race. That was a bad place to throw it into your top gear coming up a hill. It does not have the power for that. Ooh, see, this guy's got oversteer. He's definitely rear-wheel drive. And if you just kind of feather the gas coming out of those turns, you're less likely to spin it. That's a Camaro in front. And another... Nope, that's not a Mustang. Oh, that's something European, isn't it? Can't get the undercut. That's all right. I'll just go around you. No, that's a Cuda, isn't it? Stop swerving. You look like Max Verstappen on the straightaway. If you get that joke, you are now my best friend. Boy, this thing just does not have the top end that you need. It probably would. It doesn't have the power to get to the top end. It does handle fairly well, considering that it weighs 4 tons and is as aerodynamic as a potato. Alright, we picked up a little bit of ground there. Stay on the gas, come hard out of the turn. Should have downshifted. Stay Stay off the brakes. Come on, Mr. Chevelle. What you got? Nope. See ya, bitch. Ooh, that Roadrunner's running first, huh? That could have been bad. Shit, running out of room. You gotta get him. Ooh, hello. I don't know what you're doing, homie. Oh, man, look at that hairpin coming up. This would be nice to have just rear-wheel drive, because we could just drop it into, like, second gear and just roast them around this corner, but got to go with the old handbrake instead. Did not work very well. But we clogged up the road enough. Hold them behind. This son of a bitch has more top-end speed than I do. Oh man, who's flying up behind him? They're both about to have to jam on the brakes, so. Keep feathering the gas because you don't want to flip around, you don't want to hydroplane. Whoa. Alright. That one only took one try. That's about it. I can't even remember why I really wanted to do this seasonal event. I think it was for the car. It's one of those Hoonigan cars, but I can't remember which one that is. Either way. Yeah, that Roadrunner is hideous. Right, we don't need to see all this. You give me that. Ah. This close to that Koenigsegg 1-to-1. Those psychopaths created a car that it has 1 horsepower for every kilogram of weight. So it is literally a 1-to-1 ratio. And that was probably like a $3 million car that I was just this shy of getting there. Doesn't matter, I got the money anyways, but that sucks.
I've been doing some research on the Corvette. Come down and hear the story.
Yeah, the first thing we're going to do after this is go collect all my barn finds because they're apparently done now. And there were some cool cars in there. Where the hell's the last one? Where the hell's this race? There it is. All right, last one. Then we'll probably have to hang the old GTO up, or at least make it faster, because God, this thing's terrible. It's got some healthy size brakes on it. I don't think that's very realistic, but all right, no need to tune it. Just toot it and boot it. No, Mr. Fastback. Whoa. Come on. Is that an Olds? It's an Oldsmobile hearse. Get your fucking grandpa cars out of here. rear end almost got away from me. That's what she said. I'm not getting enough run on these straights. Car just doesn't have any balls. Kind of being able to pick up the slipstream there. Alright, see, now you definitely have to drop behind them because you don't have the speed to overtake right away. And you need that slipstream. Also, you need to shift gears, dumbass. Wow, that third gen Corvette. Those things are such shit boxes, but it's somehow in first place right now. I don't think I have a picture of that one yet. I probably ought to snap it. Really? Okay, well, whatever. All right, foot on the gas. I was probably right about here. Yep. Don't have room to undercut the Corvette. Hope we tagged that checkpoint. We did. Just barely. Come on. Come on, you son of a bitch. Alright, now I'm going to undercut you. Sorry. Yeah, just a little scratch. Shit, I should have been on the outside of the track. Okay. Somehow we are hanging on to this, even though you're not shifting. Man, I'm really not paying attention. That could have been really bad. We're all right now. That supercharger is definitely still adding some displacement just to push up a little bit on that upper end of the top speed there. I do love that sound. I'm sorry, sweetheart. I promise I still love you. I didn't mean to run you into that wall. So we've got this pretty well in hand by now. And I kind of got off the whole cars I could afford shtick, because I sure as hell can't afford one of these. The 65 GTO, if you can find one with original matching numbers. And when I say matching numbers, I mean that the serial numbers on the actual car body, the motor, transmission, all that stuff. Ooh, look at the negative camber on those tires. That's cool as fuck. Anyways, that means that nobody ever Frankensteined the car together. That means that it's all original. One of these GTOs is going for probably 120 grand just to get all the parts you need, and it's probably a piece of shit, not restored. So yeah, when you find one of those in a barn, it's that's basically like striking oil. Okay, so that's a 65 Mustang. I wonder if that's like a drift car.
Hey, Ryan. You know what time it is. Where to next?
I still don't understand what I'm supposed to be doing with this, but I guess that is what it is. Do I just unlock stuff?
same thing.
All right,
I'll
we
give
need
him the
something new.
go-ahead
Oh,
for the
that's what we're doing.
marathon.
We're gonna go get the Gymkhana. I've actually seen some Gymkhana before. I went to this. It's gonna show me a bunch of shit here. I went to the Street Rod Nationals in Louisville, Kentucky. I've been a few times. I go with my old man. You know, he's the reason I know anything about cars, anyways. But they had like a Gymkhana setup there, and they have cars that are specifically like drift cars. The one that I remember seeing was it was a Viking shock brand, like the brand of shocks, Viking. It was a Camaro. It was like a that's the second generation Camaro. It was white and purple, really cool looking car. And this guy was just fucking flooring it through there, taking around corners. I don't have any idea how these guys practice this with such precision, because what you're doing is really just ripping the handbrake like 20 feet before you get somewhere, 30 feet, depending on how fast you are. It's insane shit. I don't understand how those guys pull it off, but that's all right. Okay, we were going to go get our barn find cars. And to do that, we need to be able to see where the houses are. Oh, you're at one, dummy. All right. Wave goodbye to the old goat. Maybe we'll pull her out later. Put some more power under the hood, but for now, I've had enough. All right, so we're coming here to find these old barn finds. I already talked last time about my favorite. Someone asked me, I think it might have been Azrael, what my favorite car so far was, or my favorite truck, and it's definitely the GMC Jimmy that you get out of these barn finds. That guy right there, that 1970 Jimmy. It's beautiful. All right.
The first turbocharged car in Europe in the 1970s. 170 horsepower, wide body. Mira esto. It has
really
turbo
wide
written
body.
backwards so racers can see it coming in their mirrors.
That's pretty fucking cool. I don't know anything about this car. So this is a 60s BMW. That thing is real ugly, but that's okay. I'll still take it, especially since it's free. C530. This is definitely something that was built for a rally.
In
All right.
1954, Chevrolet entered their first international
First Corvette
race,
ever.
the Carrera Panamericana, with a new sports car. But this one threw a con rod through the engine block and died on the first stage. They've gotten much better at racing since then, lo juro. But now, it's all yours.
It's a beautiful car. It's a shitty car to go fast in. This
What
thing's
do you
gonna be a
think?
piece of shit too. I hate
Not a bad
Vipers.
return for a few rumors in a dusty old bar, eh? And there's the keys. Now off you go and turn some heads.
These cars are awful. No one can get them to go straight or turn well. They're not. They're fast. They're fast. Go straight. That's it. All right.
I
Old
don't know how it
F100.
came to Mexico.
Sure.
I don't know how or why it was abandoned. All I know
That's
is that
enough.
it belongs
I
to
don't
you
need to
now,
see the rest of that.
superstar. Here's the keys.
68 fastback. What a beast.
Now
I
this is
remember
pretty
the
cool.
car chase. It was brilliant. This thing tearing through city streets, bombing over hills.
Probably had the
I've been
302.
racking my brain and I just
Was it a
cannot remember
Cleveland?
the name of the film.
See. It might have been a 289. I can't remember off the top of my head. I'm sure somebody will fact check me on that. No, definitely not doing that. Painting, prepping. Okay, so these are not done yet, but I still get a few more. The 67 Escort is actually probably a beast. This was the same one from the last game. This F40 I'm pretty excited for, though. That's like the iconic Ferrari that you think of. Or at least I think of. Let's see. What do we want to do here? Let's take a look through some other classics. But maybe we'll go to the actual auto show to do that. Does this work yet? No. I don't understand what their shop is for if you can't use it. Alright. So we're going to filter this on... Actually, I do kind of want to see that. Sports cars. Classic racers. That's interesting. No, we don't want any of the rest of this. Vintage. All of these different categories mean the same thing. Vintage racers and classic sports cars are the same thing. All right. Anyways. There's the James Bond car. That's interesting. Okay, so it must have been when I pulled in sports cars. It pulled everything European, which is fine. But you'll never see me drive an Austin Healey Sprite or one of these. I guess these weren't Nazi cars. They weren't Volkswagens or Rolls Royces. This actually looks a lot like a Nazi car, though. Should probably move on. This is cool, but I'm not going to drop 1.7 million on it. This I love. I've already expounded on my love for it. I don't want to drive it right now. I don't know why. This is a gorgeous car, but I don't want it. I don't know what I'm feeling right now. I kind of want to put hydraulics on this 64 Impala with the big block in it, because that sounds fun. We could build one of these up for a top speed. We're not going to buy a Ferrari. We could build one of these up for a top speed car because I do need one of those. It's probably not your best bet. Although this, for top end, nah. This is the hardest part of this game. Iconic car. This is the car that everyone had a poster of in grade school, and this one if you're older or my age. There's our Miatas. I'm telling you, man, the MX-5 Miatas. These cars are kind of filthy fast. Just saying. This is a decent car to do top speed, although, nah, it's not muscly enough. Man, I'm being really picky right now. I don't want the Hemi Cuda. Trans Am's kind of played out. This is trippy as hell, and I don't know anything about it, but I want it. Shelbys are too small. They're like little go-karts. Those TVRs are actually not bad for top speed, but that's just not what I just don't want it. Shit. All right, let's go look at what we already have. Like, there's food at home. We can't get McDonald's. What would be a good top-end speed car? So we want something. All right, here's how we can look at this. It's got to be rear-wheel drive, because if you're looking top speed, all-wheel drive is not generally your friend unless you have millions of dollars to spend on, you know, like a Bugatti or some shit. I think those are all all-wheel drive. Some of them are. Most of them are all-wheel drive. We could turn this little old shitbox into one, but I don't really feel that. That's actually kind of sick, but I'm not going to build a drift car. Oh, the burden of choice. That Maserati is kind of cool looking. Also, no one ever buy a Maserati. No car depreciates faster than a Maserati. No one wants to work on them. They're awful. Yeah. We could try and turn this three-wheel car into like a 200-mile-per-hour monster. All right, what am I doing here? This is actually cool as hell. No. All right, I'm going to pick a car. Right. You know what? I love this car. So not only this have the aluminum LS1, this car had a supercharger on it, if I remember correctly, based on the year. So we're going to crank this bad boy up quite a bit. Nope, we're definitely not going to do that automatically. We're going to do this my way. We want slicks, but not drag slicks. Because when we get up there and we're hauling ass, it ain't going to be pretty if we got no grip. That I have to do it. I can't help it. We're going to widen this to give us a more stable base. Doesn't really impact anything else. We can probably find some lighter wheels here. So we're only dropping a few pounds, but I'm telling you, everything matters. Weight is the enemy of fast. So, got the grip done. Gonna need to stop it eventually somehow. Just those nice drilled and slotted rotors. These are tiny. I don't know how those are smaller. I just like the way that looks, frankly. This is going to have to sit as low to the ground, basically, as you can. Any air getting under your car is just slowing you down. The front and rear roll bars are going to have to be as stiff as possible. Basically, what you're saying is you're going to go as fast as you possibly can. You have to assume, intelligently or unintelligently, that the road is going to be in prime condition for this. So you want the tires on the ground as hard as they can be. You want everything in the suspension to be super stiff. It would ride like shit in real life, but it'd be fast as fuck. And that's what matters. And we're going to cut out 500 pounds from a Corvette somehow. You know, these cars are so light because... no, we don't need that. Because they have fiberglass bodies, which is why they suck to work on. In a prior life, I don't think we want to put... No, we don't. We don't want a rear spoiler either. All right. We're not going to do... Okay, first let's take a look at the actual motor. So what's in here is the 5.7 LS1. I mean, it makes almost 400 horsepower. That's already pretty ridiculous. The 6.2 V8 is the new LS6. And this is a V8 turbo diesel. We don't want either of those. So these are all pretty on par. I can't imagine putting a diesel in a Corvette, but that's neither here nor there. You can see that power band spike when the turbo revs up, but for some reason, that drop-off shouldn't be there like that, although it is a diesel. All right. So we're going to throw... Yeah, we're going to throw twin turbos on this bad boy. Just because I like it. We need to cut out all the weight and extra shit that we can. So we are going to put a... We're going to go with the 7-speed. Got to get rid of some weight. We're not worried about the differential for this car. And we're basically just going to put all the shit that we can on this. We need as much horsepower as we can reasonably get out of this thing, because the final gear in that transmission is going to be so tall that it's going to be like trying to crank start a car. Okay, I know I have not been talking about this. First of all, we're already over that's about 600 horsepower. Yeah, that tracks. Actually, it's pretty low. Honestly, they must be tiny turbos, but if we put the big boys on it, we get an extra 100 horse out of it. Obviously, that's what we're going to do. Bigger turbo means bigger boost. Twin turbo means less turbo lag. Big twin turbo means a little bit of lag, but a whole lot of horsepower and a whole lot of boost. Obviously, if we were doing that, we'd want to change the compression ratio as well, obviously. Because you'd be running at a different compression ratio because you're adding a shitload of boost to your engine. The displacement, I can't imagine boring something like this out and then also putting a twin turbo on it. This is going to be the big one. Yeah, 150 horse out of this. I think I explained how camshafts work last time, but this is cams and valves. These are basically rockers. What this is doing is telling the engine which part of the cycle that it's in. So it injects fuel. It sparks, which is what a spark plug does, obviously. It combusts, and then it expands and recompresses. And it goes over and over and over like that. So each one of those, you can see on there are those big lopes. So each time that goes around, it's opening and closing a valve. And they're all pointing slightly differently because they're timed differently for each cylinder. Obviously, they fire sequentially at a different time. Otherwise, your car would probably just explode and the engine would crack in place. You're always just trying to control the biggest explosion that you can get. And that's the essence of going fast in a car. I think we did everything we need to here, or everything that we could, really. Nope, we did not put the big-ass cams on it, which would have been a massive mistake. This is just straight headers, it looks like. There's a button that'll let you rev the engine.
You choose the parts,
Nope.
I'll run cost projections. Here's your current
And it doesn't
total.
matter. We put the intake on it. All right, we're good enough. We're making about 1,000 horsepower in this Corvette. That's insane. It probably won't even stick to the road, but that's okay. $60 grand for 1,000 horsepower Corvette is not bad. But also, you don't need 1,000 horsepower Corvette ever. All right. I'm just going to roast the tires, and we're going to see how long it would take this thing to go. So I have traction control and all that bullshit off. I'm not going to touch the brakes. We're just going to hit the rev limiter. God, that thing sounds mean. And we're just going to let it go.
Turn right.
Okay, well, this doesn't really count anymore. I need to find a big old road.
In 100 yards.
But goddamn.
Turn right.
Check out this guy in his Bugatti. Okay, okay. Your Bugatti doesn't do that. Just roast them through 4 gears. Jesus, this is the most impractical car of all time, and I love it. So, we're going to take this out to the highway. I saw a challenge out here that said, I think over 250. Yeah, drive above 250 miles per hour for 5 seconds in any car. This car should do that pretty easily. And we will have to mess with the transmission a little bit. Not a big deal. We basically just want a lot of top end. So we tune her to, well, first of all, these front tire needs to stay up. You know what, rear tire does too. So the difference here, a lower pressure tire will flatten out a little bit more, right? So it'll hug the ground a little bit tighter, and it gives you better grip. A fully inflated tire is going to provide less resistance when you're trying to do a top speed. So if I was doing like a short drag race or something like that, I would cut the rear tire way down so I'd get some grip off the line. Leave the front tire where it is because this isn't a front-wheel drive car. I think that probably makes sense. But anyways, in this case, we'll just have to be gentle with it. AKA, don't roast the tires off the line. So I can see here that this is probably above 250. We want to be able to get there relatively quickly. So 7 seconds to 100. What happens if we keep going? Nothing changes. All right, seems like 259.5 is about all we're going to get out of this. And that's fine. That's more than what we need. I just don't want to come up short because we don't have the balls to do it. So let's do it right like 280. 258, that should get us there. We're gonna tune some of the camber out of this. So this is really important for when you're taking corners. This is what I was talking about when we showed the front end of the GTO, and the tires were, the top side of the tires were pointing in slightly, about 2 degrees. And I mentioned last time, when you're taking a corner, you want that tire to kind of push down and flatten out and give you more grip space, and that's what that camber does. The outside tire is the one that's always taking that much pressure, and the outside tire is always the one that'll flatten out. So that's why you have negative camber there. But in this case, we want a little bit more straight line grip, so we don't need this. We're just going to put it straight at 0. We don't need to change the toe. This doesn't matter. Roll bars, we want this to be as stiff as possible, especially with that big ass motor in the front. We need the ride height to be as low as possible because we don't want any air getting under this car. This is tricky because the relation of front to rear also matters. If you overtune the rear compared to the front, there's a ratio to it. If you over strengthen the rear, you will get a lot of oversteer and it will be very bad. So the rebound, this is what we were talking about earlier. If you're going to be hitting top speeds on good roads, you just got to keep your tires on the ground at all times. So that's all we need out of this. Let's see what it'll do. We got to find a big old highway. Nope, that's not. I mean, this is pretty straight, but it's not the highway straight. So we're going to go. We need 5 seconds out of this. So this is realistically, maybe we can get there. But I want to do it going this way. So yeah, I think I got it. You have to be so gentle taking this thing off the line. I still can't even. Yeah, see, that's if you gun it there, you're gonna roast the tires. Although maybe I should have put a differential on this thing. No, not for top speed. Okay, doesn't matter. Also, this is how a sports car should be geared, where you're maxing out at like 7,500 RPMs. All right, let's see what this thing can do. Oh boy, we're gonna go flying, aren't we? Holy shit. Whoa. Yep, we're dead. So, it's got the balls. It's definitely got the balls to do it. It's also got the balls to just roast it coming out of third gear. Was I supposed to turn back there? Shit. I definitely was. Alright, we can flip around. I guess that's the easier way to do it, huh? There's not even a point in using first gear in this car. It's like 100 grand. Worth it.
Turn around when it is safe to do so.
Gotta take the wheel spins when they come. Damn it, give me a cool car. Bastards. This thing cannot hold on to the road.
Turn around when it is safe to do so.
You know,
Recalculating route.
a smarter man, maybe a less stubborn man, would probably just take one of the supercars that's built to go 200 miles per hour and won't just fishtail into nothingness. I'm just not a smart man. She's fun, though. Oh, God, I love that. I love that sound. The turbo's whining. It's great. Can't beat it. Jesus, this thing will do like 70 in first gear. All right. Here's where we're going to the highway. Okay. That's not a good start. We're going to try that again. Easy on the gas. There we go. Jesus. I put racing slicks on this too, which is, those tread marks are very inaccurate.
Turn around when it is safe to do so.
Alright, almost at 250. Don't slow down. Am I going to have to re-gear this thing on the fly? Fuck, of course we're hitting a hill. Still climbing. Very slowly. Come on, get over the crest.
30 stars across all speed traps. Are we undertuning these all? No, wait. I forgot, it's you. The scores are probably fine.
Shit. Doesn't have enough. Alright. Oh, that's going to be way... Shit. Alright, we'll see. One, two, three. Okay, there. We got it. Not bad. Be great if I could use these Forza points. Won't let me shop. I don't know what the hell that means. All right. What is Yes. Drift cars. I hate drifting in this game. I'm so not good at it. That's probably not quite the same as hating something, but... I'm going to put the clutch in before this motor explodes. This thing just is not slowing down. We'll use the transmission to slow it down a little bit. There we go. Let the brakes cool off. Just kidding, it's not a real car. Doesn't matter. You can see how stiff the suspension is. It is literally just kind of bouncing from little pit in the road to little pit in the road. Oh, there's a jump. I'm going to hit that jump. All right, let's get a decent angle on this and see if we can hit it at about 230. What are you doing? All right. It's so difficult to control this thing. $200 miles an hour is not bad. I mean, obviously this car would just explode on impact, but I'll take those stars. All right. So now what? What else do we have to do? So we got to get the DeLorean, obviously. I don't really love this eliminator shit. Post a clean lap on any rivals event. Okay. Oh, is that AMG 1? Well, I have a feeling I can beat 7 minutes and 49 seconds. But this is a chance to look at a different car. This is much more of a hypercar. If I'm remembering correctly, you can't even get one of these licensed on the road. It's kind of like that Ferrari FXX Competizione. Yeah, I don't see what the point of that is if you can't actually drive it anywhere. Okay, well, we can't tune it. That really makes this easier. All right. I've never driven this car, so I don't really know. Okay, well, it doesn't. Holy shit, it revs to 10,000 RPMs. Nope, 11,000. Oh my god, and it hugs the road. This thing's a rocket ship. Shit. Well, you gotta use this car anyways. Waiting to see at what point this Ghost crashes, because 750 definitely ain't gonna cut it on a clean lap. Dude, this thing steers too perfectly. I'm used to some understeer. All right. Well, I'll collect my reward at least, I guess. Sorry, my phone is blowing up constantly with memes. All right, what we got? Isn't this the same one? All right, try one more time. You know, I was reading something in this too about they have launch control in this game, but you can't use it on these races or something. It's very stupid. I was reading how you unlock it. It's like shifting it up into second. I don't know. Doesn't matter. Got a little better feel for it now. It's still way too fast. Lewis Hamilton might as well just drive this car instead of his Formula One car. Because this thing is fucking absurd. I have no idea why that guy slowed down. See, if I could tune this, I would have tuned the transmission downward with smaller gears. So that I could get more acceleration when I need it, because I'm not going to be able to hit the top speed on this track. See if we can at least beat our other time. Came out of that too soft. Should have been on the gas. This thing sounds like a Formula One car. Should have downshifted. Alright. It was 102. Not bad. Let's see what else we can do. Yeah, we don't need to see this, do we? Alrighty. Do we have enough now? Yes. Give me that DeLorean. Hell yes. I do not know how I'm supposed to get 46 total points or 64 total points. Is it just you have to drive every day? Man, I ain't got time. Ain't nobody got time for that. So these are active to 2 days. 9 stars in total. That's not bad. I don't want to play Eliminator, so I'm just not going to do that. Great. Glad we agree. What was this guy? Modern Sports Cars A800. Modern sports cars. So that, obviously there was a Supra in the picture. Let's take a look and see what we've got in terms of modern sports cars. Sick. No. I own 100 cars. That's kind of cool. I mean, I wish I owned 100 cars. Modern sports cars. That Alpine, we're not going to drive that. So, this is tough. I don't want to drive any of these fucking cars. I know I should just drive the Miata because I've been talking about it. I'm not going to drive this. So the problem is, any of these cars stock for racing kind of suck. So you have to be able to throw at least tires on it. Otherwise, you're not doing a very good job. You're sliding all over the place. So we're going to take a look at some more modern sports cars and see if we can find something sort of in the middle and tune it up to that A800 that we have to hit. All right. The TTs are fine. That Honda S2000. Yeesh, no thank you. The Mercedes is pretty. I don't like it. Damn, that's all I get to choose from? All right. This is insanely low for this car. A760. Oh, no, it's not. I was thinking B. Shit. All right, what are you doing? What are you doing? What are you doing? How? Look at the difference here between this RX-8, which is supposed to be an actual fast car, and the Mazda MX-5. They're basically the exact same thing. I'm telling you, those cars are slept on. I don't like any of these cars, so I guess I will just... son of a bitch. I guess I'll just go do something else. We don't need to do the seasonal stuff right now, right? We can't drive this on the dirt, that's for damn sure. Alright, what are we going to do? We have a fast as hell car, so might as well go hit some speed traps, right?
When it is safe to do so.
Hello. Whatever.
In 200 yards, turn sharp left. Turn sharp left.
That's all it takes to do a full 180. I need to get better at that and just whip this thing around a corner. That actually worked pretty well. My stupid monkey brain can't operate a throttle, a brake, and a steering wheel all at once. It can only do 2 of the 3 because I have a stupid monkey brain. Jesus. You know what I really like? So if you're watching this on a somewhat bigger screen, you can see the white gauges, the speedometer and the tach. That was not very common at the time, and it was kind of like a style thing for Corvettes, and the fact that they got that little nod, I guess, included in this game is really fucking cool. As I crash my car. Just flip it over, alright. No, I want the fucking... fine, you're gonna make me drive down this stupid dirt hill in a car that is definitely not made for this. And drift. Nope, that didn't work. Can't go fast if I can't get any grip. Alright, there we go. That's what I was looking for. I should probably stop doing this, huh? Actually, that one worked out okay. I know, I could have just turned the wheel the other way. Roll down the hill in reverse. You're a train. Alright, fuck it. I'll just drive down the damn hill. Piece of shit. Come on. Grip. This is exactly where you don't want racing slick tires. All these rocks would basically just be stuck to your tires. Although that might not hurt your grip. Oh, hey, buddy.
In 400 yards, turn right.
I still think that these
Turn right.
5th generation Corvettes are my favorite. And I think maybe it's just because I grew up actually getting to drive a couple, and I don't know. They're beautiful cars. They have so much potential. It takes so little to get so much out of these. And it's all because of that. Oh shit, that's what I'm supposed to be going fast for, huh? Alright. We'll flip around. Anyways, Corvette, good. That's all I'm saying. Jesus. We'll just come around this corner. I think it was 175 to get this speed trap, so that does not take that much in this monstrosity. We might as well just start in second gear. First gear doesn't even serve a purpose for this car.
No, I bet Rami for
Damn.
50 pesos you can restart every speed trap by next week. You better help me win.
This is a much better way to take this. That is a way wider turn.
50 pesos.
Alright, we'll try that one more time. I'm trying to recall if all of the Z06s this year were this blue color. Because it wasn't the same standard blue that came on the regular C5 Corvettes. It was like more turquoise. I can't, Jesus. Hold on to the road. Oh my God, what are you doing? Come on now. Alright, that'll work. Come on now, Slappy. It still chirps the tires. Shit, that was even worse. Alright, well, this car is not the proper car to be doing that in. It would definitely be that Mercedes AMG 1 that we were just in. Because that thing actually hugged corners, and this thing does not want to stay on the ground. What else can we... you know what? I can just go get a different car. This one looks fun. I've never heard of this manufacturer before. I don't even know if they actually exist. I mean, they have to, right? Zenbo? Sounds mean. Oh, so this is rear wheel drive too. Alright. Flipper, that is a ridiculous wing. That's so stupid looking. In this case, we want some more grip. This is what I was talking about with those tires earlier. It's still got plenty of air. Won't damage the wheel. Has a ton of camber. We will stiffen this up a little bit. We want to stiffen up the suspension so it'll hug the road a little bit better. Keep all those tires down on the ground at all times. I don't know what the hell. Why would you ever do that? All right. That should be a little bit better.
You have arrived at your destination.
Same thing. All right, we'll try it from this side. We'll grab that while we're out here. Maybe. I don't know, this thing is not as nice as that AMG 1 was. You know what? I wonder if I can get launch control in this car. Oh, shit. How did I do that? I think I took a picture of it. Nope, sure didn't. All right, doesn't matter. I don't know what the hell's wrong with me, but I can't get this. I think what I need... Where's that Senna I have? That's the one I need. Obviously with the Golf livery. Obviously. This thing just sounds angry. Kind of love it. That was actually probably good because it slowed me down a little bit. You should probably be in control of the car, huh? You take that a little wide, that's okay. We got that one and plenty more to spare. And it's almost too easy. You have a real hypercar that has this much balls. Alright, what else are we doing? What else is around here? We can't drift this car. 1 star. Yeah, we're gonna go get that bad boy.
In 100 yards, turn left.
Who you honking at? Give us some time to bask in the glory that is the McLaren Senna, named for Ayrton Senna, who tragically died in a Formula One crash in the early 90s, deep in his battle with Michael Schumacher that year. There's actually a really good documentary on Netflix about it. It's mostly about Schumacher, but they covered it. I guess they didn't really cover the Ayrton Senna death very much, but they do talk about it, the effect that it had, and they were very deep into an actual championship race that year between the two of them. They were neck and neck. So, anyways, really interesting stuff. His car just failed. Like, wasn't wasn't an error or anything like that. It was just mechanical failure, and it killed him. It's terrible.
You have arrived at your destination.
I came through that sideways, so that probably wasn't great. What are you doing, dummy? Oh, what? It didn't register that one? Damn it. I started cutting in on that corner because I remembered, because I wanted to take it tight, and then I remembered that giant puddle was there, which will absolutely just throw you sideways. There we go. 2? Yeesh. Alright, whatever. That one is clearly difficult, and that's okay. What is this little beaker guy? Is this somebody doing their own coronavirus research? Get your vaccine, dummies. Alright, let's do one more. 210. Sounds like a challenge. Oh, this one's right here. 130. Oh, that's a speed zone. Yeah. You know what? Why the hell not?
Turn around
We're in the right car
when
for
it
it.
is safe to do so.
Okay, it's restored. Come down and pick up the competizione when you're ready.
Turn
My
right.
F40 is ready. First try. First try. Nice. Boom. Jumps in fourth, huh? All right, let's go check out that F40. Do I have a house around here? That will do. I didn't think you wanted me to do it on the way back, too.
200 yards. Turn left. Turn left.
That sound is just filthy when you downshift. I really wish I could
You have arrived at your destination.
actually double shift like you're supposed to when you're driving something like this. You're not supposed to go third to fourth. You're supposed to go third, clutch, neutral, let the clutch off, clutch, fourth. That's the smoothest and fastest way to do it. But alas, we don't have that option. Here we go.
Here it is. I can't believe we found an F40. Keys are in the ignition. Enjoy.
There's not a chance that there's an F40 out there in the world that somebody doesn't know where it is. Beautiful car, though. Painting. Okay, so these will all be ready real soon, maybe even tomorrow. But I think maybe that's probably going to wrap it up for me tonight. I appreciate anybody who hopped in. If you have questions or if there's something specific you want to see, please don't hesitate. I'm happy to do it. I'm happy to talk about whatever. If your car is making a weird noise, leave me a comment and I'll try and diagnose it for some reason. I don't know. I had fun. I always have fun when I'm playing this game, and that's really all that I give a shit about, because if I was worried about the online stuff and all that shit, I probably wouldn't enjoy it quite as much. Not to say that you shouldn't do it or whatever, but you know what? Whatever. It's your world. Go live it. Anyways, thanks for tuning in. I appreciate all of you. This has been my Forza Horizon 5 stream. You can check us out at the Chumpcast on all social media. We have a podcast that is found everywhere. Fun stuff is downloaded, I guess, not sold because it's free. And until next time,